Did you have intense connection with a toxic person? Maybe you were with a narcissist and that felt so real. Like there was this illusion of I'm getting everything I ever hoped to dream, hope to have in my life. Maybe it seems like that person in your life seems to understand and fulfill your deepest desires. And that's one thing that you're struggling either in or after the relationship of like, wait a second, all these things used to match up being the best thing ever. You might be confused about what is actually happening on the other side of a narcissist actually fulfilling and giving you everything that you actually desire. If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel to provide awareness, growth, healing, change, and development. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the NARC app, and your guide in the 45-day Clarity Challenge. You can access at claritychallenge.net. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you can go to rawmotivation.com. Would love to help you just understand more about narcissistic abuse, what it looks like, how to be able to heal from it, to break the trauma bond, to get out of the rumination, to deal with the peace that's in your mind of not getting abused with the peace that still feels like there's no peace. Because you still have the rumination, you still have the trauma bond, you still have the things that are pulling you back time and time and time again. We want to talk about today that narcissists have a unique ability to make you feel seen, to make you feel heard, to make you feel desired. And they create this illusion to end up like fulfilling your desires, drawing you into this web of thinking that you are the number one, putting you on a pedestal, putting you in this manipulation thing to get you to the place of feeling that you're getting fulfilled, when a lot of times you're not. So what we're going to talk about is in this video, we're going to explore a little bit how narcissists lure you in, seemingly fulfill your desires, and uncover some of the truth behind the tactics. Okay, so let's dive in. One of the first ones is this false sense, or you can term it as mirage, of empathy. Something that you think is there, something that you envision and that you see, but is not actually there. Narcissists will do this oftentimes, number one, by mirroring you. By mirroring your desires and by mirroring your emotions. Now, sometimes this is just a survival method, and we see other people besides just narcissists that do this to be able to learn and sometimes to be able to grow in this aspect. Okay, sometimes people that have autistic tendencies struggle with empathy, so they might look and see, what do I have to do? How do I have to mirror what other people are doing on a day-to-day basis to be able to show that empathy? Okay, people that are actually trying, but they don't actually come innate with that. Okay, but a narcissist oftentimes will do this to be able to put you in a certain state to think that they actually have empathy, to think that they actually care. This comes in a lot of times at the beginning of the relationship when the narcissist is studying you carefully, like learning what you long for and being able to reflect those things back onto you. I did this a ton in my relationships. I would do this multiple different ways. One of the most popular ways was movies and music. Like it might be like silly, but like how I would connect with people, how I would empathize with people of like, oh yeah, that was so good, this was so bad. All these different things, I would use those. And so a lot of times people would say like, oh, this is what I'm feeling, this is what's going on. I'm like, oh yeah, me too. Like that song hit me the same way. Like, oh, I love this song. Like all these things to try to be able to connect with people. With this, they start to study what you learn, what you're longing for, and to reflect those things back onto you. Did you ever have a partner where you're talking, but you keep getting the same information back? You don't get new information from the other person, but you get the same information. You're like, oh, like they like this too. They like this too. Like we must be soulmates. Oftentimes, this mirroring will end up creating this false sense of empathy and understanding. And what it does is it helps you get to the place, it makes you get to the place of being like, he gets me. Like no one else understands me, but he actually gets me. Oftentimes it's just an illusion and it's not actually real of what you're going through. Think of it this way. Narcissistic partner, he might start showering you with attention, with affection, taking notes of your dreams, of your aspirations, all these different things. Like he's saying over and over and over again. You're like, this is amazing. They see me. They understand me. Start to engage in activities that you enjoy, things that make you feel like you're special, and things that make you feel like they share your passions, your desires. This mirroring starts to create an illusion of deep connection and fulfillment. Now, with this illusion, you have to be able to understand, like, it is an illusion. It is not real. So many times people are like, but it feels real. I get that. but it's not. Think of it this way. For me, as a narcissist, for me, it is exceptionally hard to be able to take other people's likes, thoughts, dreams, and even my own hobbies, ideas, things like that, and get validation and get fulfillment from it. Okay? There's many times that narcissists struggle to get fulfillment even from hobbies, even from things that they like. Because there's a lot of things in a narcissist's life that does not provide this validation, this fulfillment that they're looking for. So they try to find it in other people. Oftentimes this means they will modify, they will be a chameleon into finding and getting into the things that you're involved with, saying that they love those things, but they don't actually. They actually don't even care at all. It's just like, oh, this is something I can do to be able to manipulate, control, to connect with this person. All right, so we have empathy. Okay, so the whole aspect of it being a mirage, the mirage of empathy. Second thing I want to bring up is the illusion of validation. Illusion of validation. Now you might be thinking, like, wait a second, my narcissist never validated me at all. Well, sometimes what we see is a validation that actually happens at the beginning of the relationship, at least initially early on. You see it. Where the person is validating you, like coming back at you and being like, hey, you're amazing at this. Like, this is really cool. Like, I can't believe you do this. I love you so much. You're the best ever. Never felt this way before. Like, a lot of these different phrases. Because they understand there is an understanding there that, hey, if I validate this person, if I make them feel better, it will help me gain their trust. It will help me gain their loyalty. It will help me build this connection. So a lot of times you'll see where they'll shower you with compliments, praise your achievements, make you feel special. Oftentimes these things are the exact same things that they're going to get frustrated for you down the road. Like the one thing that he praised you for, you're so amazing because of this. You care for people so much. 6 months later, you care about people too much, so much that you don't even care about me. They'll twist it. They'll manipulate it. The things that you bring up and the things that they validate early on in the relationship will be the same things to be able to flip around. Oftentimes it's because you're not doing anything wrong and they have to find something. They're going to go off of the things they already know. So they're going to shower you with praise, with compliments about your achievement. All these things are going to take those, make it flip around. So what happens is when that validation happens, it strokes your ego and it fulfills your need for recognition. And notice, I try to be careful when I talk about this because I'm never trying to put the blame on the other person of saying like, oh, it's your fault, because it's not your fault that you got into a toxic relationship. However, sometimes what is going on inside of you predisposes you or opens you up more to the possibility of accepting that from a toxic person based on your upbringing, based on who you actually are, your need for recognition, understanding like who you are, like a sense of self, sense of esteem, like being able to move in a certain direction. All these things sometimes can open up a door for a toxic person to reach in and start taking bits and pieces of you. And you might see this in work. Okay, so you might have a boss who continually praises you for your work, highlighting your successes, making you feel like you're a valuable employee. They may go as far as taking credit for your accomplishments, further fueling your desire for validation. See how even validation can be used as a manipulation tactic, like little and little and little to get you to the place where you're like, no, and then you keep trying more and more. The third thing I want to bring up is how narcissist like fulfills your desires is talking about the emotional roller coaster. Because narcissists manipulate and use your emotions besides manipulating a lot of other things. One of the biggest ones is manipulating your emotions. They do this by doing an intense roller coaster. Oftentimes we'll talk about it as intermittent reinforcement, where things go up and down, extreme highs and extreme lows. And it keeps you hooked on constantly seeking the validation and the approval of that person. Oftentimes you're going to see this in relationships of like we're together, we're not together. Like now we're dating, now we're not. Now we're engaged, now we're not. Like he loves me, he doesn't love me. And it goes back and forth. All of a sudden you try to hold him accountable for something and he's like, yeah, I don't think I can do this. I just need space from you. Oh, I want you back. No, I don't think this is going to work. Oftentimes you'll see this push-pull back and forth in a relationship and you get to the place where you're like, I don't even know what's real. Are we together? Are we not together? They'll keep doing this to be able to control you and manipulate you. This cycle of emotional turmoil fosters an addictive pattern of desiring their attention and affection. This is where a narcissist sets it up for a reverse Hoover. Okay, this is where a narcissist sets it up where they go back and forth multiple times and then step back and be like, all right, now I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till you come to me. Because you're used to me pushing you away and you running after me, pushing you away, running after me. Now I just have to sit back and wait and you'll come back. I know you're going to come back. This is how the narcissist works, how they operate. You see this happen over and over and over again. If you're at this place and you realize that you're in an illusion of fulfillment from that other person, the narcissist in your life, he's giving you this illusion of like, oh, this is what it actually is. You need to start breaking free from that toxic grasp. If you're ready to start escaping the toxicity in your life, I want you to click on the link in the bio. Go to escapetoxicity.com. There we have a 7-day challenge for $7 to help you understand more about narcissistic abuse, to help you start to break free, to understand the trauma bond, to understand the guilt that you're feeling right now. You might be at the place that you're not sure how to be free, how to move forward. We offer that. We help you step by step by step. People that come through the program are like, hey, it helps so much to be able to see and understand from another perspective, not just from the survivor's perspective, from the narcissist perspective, and seeing this is what's actually happening. I'm going to tell you the hard truths, the things you don't want to hear, the things you need to hear to be able to grow, to be able to change, to be able to develop. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, you can go to rawmotivations.com. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. Would love to see you around next time.